Stay tuned right here on Omega Radio for Creative Space with Catherine Shapiro right here on Omega Radio.
Tune in and listen. Creative Space on Omega Radio every Wednesday at 10:30 with your host, Catherine Shapiro. Hello out there, Omega Radio Land. This is Catherine in the Omega Radio Land Creative Space. We are so blessed today to have a guest calling in shortly. She is a wonderful poet. Perhaps you remember me reading an excerpt of hers the last show on last Wednesday. She is a mountain girl. She is a wonderful, wonderful lady that I met through a social networking site called My Parkinson's Team. It is a resource for all kinds of things to improve patient care with Parkinson's disease. They have support for carers. They have support for families. They have resources, all sorts of articles and information about Parkinson's for anybody who wants to find out more. You can find out more on my Facebook page at facebook.com/comeinspired or my webpage at www.cmscreationsart.com. If you love poetry and words, you will know that this lady is an special woman. We met in a time when we were both having problems and both trying to get connected as artists. And we are now collaborating on, hopefully, a book of poetry and paintings with some of our friends on the Parkinson's Team website. Like I said, you can find out more at My Parkinson's Team on Facebook. Is that my friend Carol I'm hearing?
It is. Hi, Kathy.
Well, hello, Carol. It is so good.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. It is absolutely great
Good.
to hear from you. Would you tell...
Well, thank you for letting me be on the show.
Well, that is my pleasure, absolutely. Why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself?
Well, let's see. I've always liked writing poetry since I was in school. I started writing more of it in high school and in college. And when I got Parkinson's disease, I went back to it because I had some friends who were interested in, they were online friends from the My Parkinson's Team website. And they were interested in putting some poetry together into a book. And I found that it really is a wonderful way of helping me to heal from my resentment of Parkinson's and to go forward enjoying my life.
Absolutely. You need a positive from a negative in situations like this, and it is not uncommon for people to decide to slow down and do things that are a lot more creative. And I hear you have some poetry to read today. Is that correct?
Yes, I do. And I did want to mention, I find that just like when a blind person starts to, their sense of touch and smell and hearing becomes stronger.
Mm-hmm.
With Parkinson's, when we lose a lot of our motion abilities, I think our brain turns on to creativity. And I found a lot of people with Parkinson's get a lot more creative.
And it is funny because we have found that when you are engaged in things like drawing, painting, writing, the Parkinson's symptoms seem to be put at bay. And one of the ways that I personally had gotten involved with it is that they're studying the whole process. And there's work going on with the National Parkinson's Foundation in this area also. So you can find out all kinds of things simultaneously going on with research and awareness and all sorts of things. So what kind...
Well, the first poem I would like to read today is called Today I Will Dance. And it's sort of my defiance of the limitations that Parkinson's tries to put me on.
Go for it.
I see you, recliner. I see your soft feet, your open arms. I know your promise of rest for my aching back, rest for my legs and feet, rest from thinking at all, offering sweet oblivion. Go away today, recliner. Today I will dance. I see you, walker. I see your sturdy embrace, your strong support. I know your promise of security. I will not have to stand up straight on my own. I will not have to balance myself. I will not have to remember how to walk, offering sweet mobility. Go away today, walker. Today I will dance. I see you, wheelchair. I see your easy flow, your acceptable ease. I know your promise of motion. Speeding through my home, speeding through the shopping, speeding through the airport, offering sweet mobility. Go away today, wheelchair. Today, I will dance. I see you, narcotics. I see your relief from the pain of reality, your blissful release. I know your promise of dreams, pushing me under the pool. I can't make it to the surface. Why is everyone moving so fast? Offering an unreal reality of nothing. Go away today, narcotics. Today, I will dance. I see you, nursing home. I see your 24-hour care, your 40-to-1 staff-to-patient ratio. I know my family will be relieved. You offer physical therapy. It never comes. You offer activities you won't take me to. You offer more narcs, so I vegetate, providing to those who love me a guilt-free place to park me. Go away today, nursing home. Today, I will dance.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much. I kind of feel like dancing just after hearing that.
I actually did take a tango class about twice a week, and it really, really helped. And it wasn't a tango class for people with Parkinson's, but just for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed it a lot. And I told them I had Parkinson's and that I was there because it would help me.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up doing a lot of dancing backwards in heels, and it was amazing.
That's too funny. You know, sometimes it takes a little bit of looking around to find a spot where you fit. And exercise is one of the most important things for people to keep their mental state in as a high level as possible, and a positive thing
Yes.
for movement for everybody, but most particularly for people with moving disorders like we have. And they're
Right.
Mm-hmm. And it might interest people to know that there are a lot more than you would think out there. Parkinson's is one of the most common movement disorders next to Alzheimer's. In fact, it's only in second place.
Wow.
We would love to be able to get people to know how wonderful artists out there have all kinds of challenges that they need to learn how to get through to get where they want to be. And I'm wondering how you get there every day to where you want to write and dance and love and be inspired.
I don't know. It just sort of comes into my head, and it's just like I'm overwhelmed by it. I have to sit down at the computer and write it down.
Yeah, like you sort of lose it if it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does help relieve inner stress, I think. If we have time, I'd like to read another poem. It's a little bit longer. Some parts of it kind of make me
Absolutely.
sad, but I'll do my best here. It's called I Can't Be Old. I can't be old. It was just a moment ago that I realized the time passes as quickly as a thought. I was 7. Now I am 70. I can't be old. I can still fly down a snowy mountain on my skis. Okay, it has been many decades since I could fly in my dreams like Superman, or on the sidewalk, smooth or cracked, all day long till I walked on clouds. When I finally loosened the clamps that put sturdy metal wheels on the 4 corners of the leather soles of my saddle shoes. Where is my skate key now? I can't be old. The magnificent carved horses prancing around the carousel look just the same. And when I walk around to the near side to properly mount, some idiot is still coming at me, mounting my favorite horse from the wrong side, making me quickly choose another before the same thing happens. Just like my recurring childhood nightmare. What does that sign say? Historic carousel? Have I been riding it that many years, trying to beat the ignorant to my favorite horse? I can't be old. Surely I can still climb every tree lining the road in the next block, making the boundary between peopled city streets and open country fields at the western edge of town. I can't be old. The houses covering those fields for miles farther west now have obliterated the cottonwoods. Surely there is a horse pasture like there always was, grandfathered somewhere within the encroaching suburbs, where I can feel once more the softer than velvet, warm whispered noses gently lipping the soft bunch grass from my open hand, shyly blowing fragrant breaths from their large equine nostrils into my small human ones, mysteriously sharing the secrets of our souls. I can't be old. Where is my magical white mare who ran so fast that my eyes blurred with tears? Or my mischievous chestnut Morgan with a little white question mark at the tip of his nose, who would race trains while the crew urged us on, who would jump anything, even if he had to put his front foot on the top of the stone wall to vault us safely over, who would trot all day to carry me 50 miles. Did the truck that ran him down add the years between those enchanted moments and this horseless moment now? If I just go out to feed them, will they be there? Impatiently asking, what took me so long? I can't be old. I can still feel the unconditional love and devoted companionship of my tiny scamp terrier, who progressed from the worst yappy dog in his obedience class to the blue ribbon winner. Or my strong black and tan lucky girl who would go anywhere with me as long as I had the remote control, a slobbered tennis ball, in my hand or in my pocket. If I find enough of his soft winter hair, can't I put my rusty Aussie back by my side? When I took them to the vet for that final injection, did part of me die with each of them? I can't be old. When my dad was 94, the strength and youth was still in his voice when I sometimes phoned him when Mom was at bridge club. I can't be old. Who is that wrinkled old hag I see when I look at myself in the mirror each morning? Until I smile. I can't be old. I can never quite type 30-plus words per minute accurately. I have time now in my Parkinson's disease insomnia to lay on my side in bed with my 8-inch tablet and Bluetooth keyboard to find one key at a time with the back of my thumbnail, shaking like a human earthquake, waiting for day to come so I can have my pills. Forget it. I'm getting up. I touch type in the dark, carefully proofreading the unintentional Parkinson's disease keystrokes. 200 years from now, will tablet and Bluetooth be as obsolete as saddle shoes and skate keys? Or in 20 years or 10? I can't be old. Even though my voice is no longer beautiful and my violin and viola are disintegrating in their unopened cases, the music still resonates within my soul. I can't be old. I'm going back to bed now to make love to my wonderful third husband, my boy toy, almost 2 years younger than I. and already a great-grandfather, and I am his cougar. Sometimes it's just the same as when I was 19, or at least reminiscent. I can't be old. Every time I hear a hungry baby cry, don't my breasts still swell with warm mother's milk? I can't be old. The wind touching my face still lifts my feet to run with it. Perhaps not as lightly and freely as when I was 9, but just as joyously happy to be alive.
That's amazing. You know, I used to say that words are a gateway to our feelings, and a lot of times that's exactly what I saw here. Wonderful images, great and terrific ideas are done with words, and you are a master at them. I am so glad you decided to bring them and share them with us and with me first. You know, that was a really nice thing to do. I so appreciate you. And
Well, thank you, Kathy.
Absolutely. Anytime. So when you first started writing, was there one person who sort of came out of the woodwork and helped you along a little bit?
Yeah, I think it was a man who was on my Parkinson's team website. He was encouraging another woman on that website. And then it sort of expanded to include a man who'd never written poetry before, and he started writing some. And then I kind of got into it and started writing again. And eventually they wanted to make a book, and I thought it would be nice to include artists in there too, because I'd found quite a few people on my Parkinson's team website who were artists. One of our favorite artists is Ricky Musu Kumari Swami, excuse me. It's really a tongue-twisting last name. He's a Tamil from South India. And everybody there has long tongue-twisting names, but he paints for fun and to get over his Parkinson's disease tremors and to get over some of his frustrations. And his paintings are just beautiful. I mean, he says he's not a professional painter, and of course he's not. Like any of us, we're just doing it for our own healing more than anything else.
Well, you know what's interesting is that he's currently living in Perth, Australia, to what I understand.
Yes.
And we, all three of us, are going to be collaborating on the book. And this show was kind of the impetus to what we all decided to do. And now we're coming out and getting ready to start this party. I hope to talk to him fairly soon also. And we can stay tuned and we'll all see what wonderful artists are really out there when this book comes out. It's an amazing thing. We had I am wondering exactly where you're located and what you're doing now.
I'm sitting in my car. You can hear my dogs barking at me from the front yard.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's so that they won't completely overwhelm the broadcast. But we have 9 little Maltese dogs, and they're just so loving and sweet. But they're also very brave as far as being watchdogs. So they're wondering what on earth I'm doing now.
Help us do with
yes, they are
our lives for sure. And we noticed that in your poetry.
Yeah, when I was talking about my Australian Shepherd, he was with me through my divorce and through the death of my second husband, and having to move from my heart's home on 10 acres to a crowded
well, our hearts are so big.
In an old mobile home. What's that?
Our hearts are always
and he
big.
would not. Yeah, he would not let me lay around on the recliner.
And
he
you
would not
need
let
that
me walk
one
slowly.
thing that'll let you let you be who you are and do what you do. Thank you, Carol, so much for letting us listen to your poetry and helping you
And
get
thank
the
you
word
for
out.
having me, Kathy.
I am so glad that Carol Leah White from My Parkinson's team has come and joined us today. Give her a definite round of applause. And thank you so much, Carol. We will definitely
Thank
be
you,
talking
Kathy.
again in the future.
Sounds good. Bye-bye.
All the best, hon. Be well. Thank you so much, Omega Radio, for bringing us the opportunity to see and hear these great artists. If you're an artist in the neighborhood and you would like to call in, we have three numbers actually that you can reach us at. It's 954-900-4310, 877-494-0253, and the last one is 876-613-9129. Thank you so much for being out there and listening, and I hope you're enjoying the creative space. Let's fill it up together.
Every day is so wonderful, and suddenly it's hard to breathe. Now and then I get insecure from all the pain. I'm so ashamed. I am beautiful, no matter what they say. Words can't bring me down. I am beautiful in every single way. Yes, words can't bring me down. No, no. So don't you bring me down today. To all your friends, you're delirious, so consumed in all your doom. Trying hard to fill the emptiness, the peace is gone. Let the puzzle undone and die the way it is. You are beautiful, no matter what they say. Words can't bring you down. No, no. You are beautiful in every single way. Yes, words can't bring you down. Oh, no. So don't you bring me down today. No matter what we do, no matter what we do, no matter what we do.
Hi there again out there in Omega Radio Land. This is Catherine Shapiro trying to fill the creative space. You're probably telling yourself, hey, words are great, but you know what? There are all kinds of obstacles that people face when they try to approach a creative life. Some people will tell you you can't make money at it. That's a lie. Some people will tell you nobody will love your stuff. That's a lie too. Because there is a person out there for you that will love all that you do and knows that you are well and beautifully made and that is God on high. I definitely do believe this, and my faith is a very big part of what I do for our community here in Coral Springs. We have had an amazing response over the last couple of weeks to this show, and I am deeply grateful for everybody who has responded and wants to become a guest and a content builder in future. I am really particularly grateful for the engineers and the ladies here at Omega Radio who make my life much easier, who make the program sound absolutely fabulous, and make me look wonderfully good on our feed, which is streaming live right now. I promised you I would give my listeners some practical advice too, and this is where it's going to be. If you want to become more creative, you have to create a space in your life to be creative. Show up to it, find a system that works, and do it every day. Find a medium you love. Get yourself a sketchbook, a pen, anything you need, a tablet, a phone. Carol said that one of the things she does routinely is use her tablet. There are all kinds of apps out there with wonderful advice and great features that help you create fantastic digital art. You'll find a listing of some of those places and devices on my website at www.cmscreationsart.com. And the other piece of advice I would give you is carry your art with you every day. Wear it. If you design jewelry, give it. If you paint t-shirts, wear them. Give them to events. There are all kinds of terrific ways that you can get the word out about your art and all the wonderful things that you do. And a community that is starving for meaning and for joy in a world that has gotten absolutely crazy. And on that subject, what I would like to do today is dedicate this program to all the people suffering in Missouri from tornadoes over the last couple of days and storms, and our friends who are suffering need the uplift of others that are willing to help and encourage and record and tell their stories. So if you have a story today, if you're an artist in a community that's suffering and hurting, you are there for a reason. And use your talents to support and love and uplift people. We have a wonderful museum here in Coral Springs. The Museum of Art is right over on Coral Springs Drive. And what they did when our community suffered losses several years ago in the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School was they opened their doors to families, to community members, to officers, to everyone who needed some time to heal and some time to deal with the emotions that trauma can bring for you. There is a whole new genre of art and of medical professional that uses art to help people who have been traumatized in one way or another. They're called art therapists. There are a lot of organizations that provide art therapy. There's one that I know that's absolutely free. You can find it on alignable.com. and support it and help with donations. My feeling is that you can allow your trauma and your disease and the things that go wrong in your life to define you, or you can define them. You can triumph over them. You can use the talent that God gave you to help others do the same, and that is exactly why I'm here. Up and coming in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to invite a couple of local artists to join me with their art that they discovered after 60. It's amazing. You know, the stories you typically hear about artists that discovered art when they were 3. Imagine having a talent and not knowing it until you've been in this world for a while. And you will meet some of the most amazing artists that you've ever seen this way. My good friends in Delray Beach are up for an interview in the next week or two, and we are going to bring you some absolutely fabulous art. I have a friend who discovered he was a painter after he retired. Medical professional. Decided that was diagnosed with Parkinson's, and then decided, well, guess what? I've got to find a new career. And he did. He's a wonderful landscape painter. His name is Mike Riley. And it is an amazing bunch of people we have out there that we haven't even seen yet, that I am waiting and loving to bring to you today. If you are ready and willing to help build content for this show, give me a call. Call the station. If you love our community-based program, donate, support Omega Radio. It takes a village to build a program, and it takes a village to have beauty and love and art in the world, because one person cannot do it by themselves. If you are one of those people who would love to talk on the radio and present us with your work, that would be fabulous. I have on occasion had what I call a Repair the World sale. What I do is I put up a bunch of my best work for sale, and it goes to a charitable organization in the community right here at home. The last one was Wags and Wine President's Day weekend last year. We supported therapeutic service dogs for an organization right here in Fort Lauderdale. If you need a boost, I'd be so happy to help. If you have a local event that you need advertised or shared, I would be absolutely happy to get the word out for you. If you are a creatively themed business, guided painting, the Plaster Carousel here in Coral Springs is absolutely terrific. And they are putting together some brand new programs for those who want to have social encounters with other people painting. And they're finally getting back together after not being able to meet in person because of COVID. So I am totally happy to spread the word when it comes to these great businesses and local programs. If you see me around town, I'm likely to be around on my bike. It's a 3-wheeled masterpiece. And I would love to be able to meet you and talk to you about your art, your life, and how you have overcome adversity to learn to live a more creative life. It's not something that living creatively is not something that you learn by yourself. You have to be taught. And there is almost always one person out there who saw you for the wonderful person that you were and decided to give you a leg up. I would love to thank my very first drawing teacher. He's a wonderful man in Collin College in Frisco, Texas. Does absolutely wonderful drawing classes. And a critique that made me want to start doing even more is the kind of thing that helps people get along their way. Sincere praise is better than hypocrisy. Good advice isn't free, and it is very, very, very much needed in this world. If you know something that you think somebody should share, share it. If you feel something is wrong, get out there, find a way to fix it. That's what artists are for. They are the reflection and the history of a community. If you would like to add to the history of your community through this program, I would be happy to have you. Just contact the station or contact me directly on my webpage at www.cmscreationsart.com. The strangest place I have ever been, when it comes right down to it, is this room in a studio, talking to people I've never met and enjoying myself in a way that I never imagined was possible. Do the one thing that you think is not possible. Be kind to people. Be good to each other. And enjoy the world God gave you. Thanks a lot for listening in. I'm going to take a quick break. Thank you so much.